entire internet. Um, there are some rules that go with them. There's some pros and cons. So what are these three sources? Let me just bring this up here and I'll show you, and I'll get into a little bit of detail. If you are trying to, make money online, you can consider using these three sources in general to accomplish different things. The first one I'm going to go over, probably the easiest, is Bing ads. So the pros, let's go over some of the pros and cons. Easy to run, many types of ads. So you can get away with on Bing with running ads that have to do with affiliate marketing, make money online. You just have to make sure your landing page has a privacy policy and a few other things like a disclaimer. But you're able to run those ads. I have ads running right now on my Bing account that say make $53,000 in 30 days, ads like that. So that's one thing with Bing, is they're more lenient than the other two networks, which I'm going to be talking about here in just a minute. So you can get away with running more types of offers. Pretty affordable too, just across the board. You're not going to pay that much in Bing for search traffic. And it's very easy to use and set up. You're just going to pick your keywords and you're pretty much good to go. Now, the con with Bing ads, and Bing is also combined with Yahoo. So here's Bing right here as an interface. If I was to go type in cars, for example, just like in Google, you're going to see ads that are going to pop up, usually on the right-hand side, right over here on the page. Sometimes they pop up here as well. It looks like this is most likely an ad. Usually the first link is. So that's kind of what it's like to advertise in Bing. Let me go back over here. And some of the cons really, Bing and Yahoo combined only hold about 30% of internet traffic. I mean, that's still a lot of traffic, but it's not as much compared to other sources. And sometimes the quality is not as great as the other two sources. So that's something that you need to keep in mind, that you're not always going to get as high of quality. So that's Bing. And then Google AdWords. I do like AdWords. You can get very high quality search traffic. In fact, search traffic, in my opinion, if you're going for a quality of a lead, you're going to get the highest quality from a search. And that the reasoning behind that is, if someone goes and they type in, car insurance, that's because they're actually searching for that. You have a very active person, right? Same thing with Bing. If someone goes and searches that keyword, very high quality, except Google is even higher quality because you have more of a user base and there's actually more user trust with Google than with Bing and Yahoo. Okay, and there's tons of volume, and that goes for both the search and the display network. And that's another thing AdWords has that's really, really powerful, is the display network. And you can actually get very, very cheap traffic from the display network. Not so much from the search network. I mean, there are exceptions. I'll talk about that in just a minute. But Google and its third-party advertisers or network has a very, very large reach, because there's a lot of blogs out there, a lot of websites. If you were to go onto a blog or a website, you're more than likely going to see AdSense ads. These are display banners that pop up. Sometimes there's text ads that pop up, and then those are people hosting. Google compensates those that are hosting the ads on their traffic, and it just gives the advertisers, us who want to go out there and publish the ads, the publishers, it gives us more reach, because the Google Search Network has a lot of reach. But when you're able to go into all these microsites, and if someone's searching for car insurance and they land on an article about car insurance, that car insurance blog or website can serve ads to you. Okay, some of the cons, once again, Google doesn't like affiliate or make money online offers. You just really can't get around those. You're going to want to make sure you're using compliant landing pages. That's very important when you're running search traffic, is they want landing pages with privacy policies, disclaimers, all the good stuff, all the details that actually look like a website. You don't want to just put up a landing page that says, hey, or put in your email address and learn how to do X, Y, Z. There needs to be content on the page, and that's the key. Content has to be on the page. Search traffic is usually very expensive. There is some exceptions. You can get cheap traffic in search. I've been able to do it. But for a lot of things that you're doing, if you want that really high position, so if I go to Google and let me type in cars, I'll do the same example. If I want to appear at the top here, these top two spots, I have to bid higher to get that placement. I'm going to probably have to bid, maybe $3, $4, $5 for a single click. So that's something you need to keep in mind, is to be at this placement. Now, if you're lower, see if I start scrolling down, I have my page set up a little bit lower. And let's say I go to page 2, You get ads that pop up on the side as well, which they're not right now. Might just be my settings, but you'll usually get ads that pop up on the side. Let me try something like car insurance. Okay. All right, there we go. So very competitive. This spot right here is the most competitive because it's the highest placement. And then you have this is very competitive as well. And then you have all these on the right. And just the lower you are, then the less you're bidding. So you have to bid really, really high, probably maybe $10, $11 a click for something like car insurance, just to be at that top placement. And that's the one thing that is a little bit hard about Google search versus the Bing search, because Bing search you can get traffic, a lot cheaper. You could probably bid $1 or $2 in Bing for car insurance and get that really high placement. Okay, so that's one thing you have to keep in mind. And then display traffic can often bring in irrelevant mobile clicks unless you filter them out. So if you don't know what you're doing with the display network, you can go and set up a campaign in search and display. You're going to see all this traffic coming through because it happens if you don't change any of the settings. And a lot of those clicks are coming from mobile apps. So if you think about it, if you have someone playing a game on their phone, how many times have you accidentally clicked on an ad because you're playing a game? And that's what happens a lot in mobile apps. Or if you give your phone to your son or your daughter and then they're playing the game and they click the ads, you're charged for those, not very much. It's like sometimes the penny, 2 cents, really, really cheap, but those clicks are very low quality and they usually never end up converting. So what happened one time, my very, very first time in AdWords, I tried the display network. I forgot to take off the filter. I got about 700 clicks. I was paying about 2 cents a click. But to my page that I was using, I only got 3 leads out of 700 clicks, which was really bad considering that this page converted, well over, 40%. So very, very bad results. So you have to understand how to use the display traffic and how to run, turn those filters on. And then there is Facebook ads. I definitely will go into that. Let's go over here to Facebook, and you see ads in your newsfeed on the right. I'm on our fan page right now, the Total Ecom Domination. Let's talk a little bit about that. Facebook is very, very targeted and very high quality. The average user spends more time on Facebook than Google and other sites. So if a user's, on Facebook, they're usually on there for a good couple hours. Some people are on there all day scrolling and scrolling for their news feed, and some people do a lot of work off of Facebook. So you have a very, very focused user scrolling through the news feed, which is a good thing. And you can also retarget users who visit your website. So if you have a user that visits your blog or your site about XYZ, they can come back to Facebook and they're going to see your ad and they're going to see a bunch of related ads. Okay, so that's one of the plus sides. You can also retarget on Google AdWords display network. And then there's plenty of traffic. So here's the thing about Facebook that's different. In Google and Bing, you're bidding on a click. You're actually paying when the user clicks. Facebook is always impressions based. Now, you may be like, well, that's not right because I see where you can bid on clicks, or I can see where you can clicks. Yes, you can. You can tell Facebook that you only want to pay X amount per click, but regardless of what you put there, Facebook is still charging you on impressions. So that's why you can have no clicks to your ad and still spend money. So look at one of your ads. It'll say that you reach maybe 100 people, and you spent maybe 34 cents to reach those 100 people, but you have no clicks. That's because you're paying for impressions every time that your ad shows up in the news feed, which can be very expensive if you're not setting your ads up the right way, meaning you have to use the right targeting, knowing where your buyers are. That's what we're going to get into. You have to understand where your buyers are, how you can serve your ads better, how you can even create an image that people click through. So I'm going to give you a little case study. I was running an ad to our e-commerce store, and this ad was doing, pretty decent. It was getting about an 8% click-through rate. I did one little change to the image of the ad. I didn't change the targets or anything else. I just changed the image of the ad. And the very next day, I used the same targets, copied everything over. That same ad with a new image was now getting a 22% click-through rate. It was just insane. So what I did is I took from going 8% to 22%. So I basically not quite tripled, just shy of 2%, but I almost um, tripled the results that I was getting, which means that I also decreased my cost per click, divide that by 3. So saving a lot of money since it is impressions based. So that's the pros about Facebook, is if you really know what you're doing, you can drill into it and make a lot of money. And Facebook is one of the networks where I've ran ads that's actually responsible for, I've been able to generate, well over $1 million from Facebook ads in about 9 months because of how powerful it is. And once you understand what you're doing, you can go out there and apply it to anything. But I'll tell you this, from my experience, anyone who makes money on Facebook, they know they're extremely strict, okay? It's happened to me. It's happened to anybody that makes money on Facebook. Your account is going to get, your account will get banned probably at one point or another. And you're wondering why, right? Because I've even ran ads that have nothing to do with affiliate marketing, which we know that's against Facebook's terms of service. They can close your ad account down for any reason. And the same goes for Google and Bing. They have that in their terms of service that they can close your account down for any reason. It's at their discretion. That's in the fine print. And Facebook happens to be the one that actually takes action. Bing, it's pretty easy to get your account back in Bing. AdWords is not even near as strict as Facebook. So they can close your ad account down for any reason. So if someone hides or flags your ad, then the policy team with Facebook can look at it and they can close your account down. That's one thing. But you got to know what you're doing, right? There's always a way around things. And you just don't want to start off running any make money online or affiliate marketing offers. So keep that in mind. You're not going to want to run a capture page to Facebook. You were able to do that I think a year or two ago. You could actually set up an ad to a CPA offer and just make money, right? But now they're more strict. So you have to just keep that in mind. You don't want to run any affiliate marketing offers. Even if you're running clean offers, you want to understand how to do it the right way, because that's one thing that they're strict on, is the whole user trust and things like that. That's the most common reason. Okay, but the best thing to do is just don't run, affiliate marketing offers. Don't run it to a capture page that says you're going to make $500 in the next 30 minutes or anything like that. And Facebook can be expensive because you're paying for impressioning. So just remember, targeting is key. If you learn how to target and you learn how to run your ads properly, which we will teach you all that, then you're going to be okay. And Facebook is a source that can generate you tons and tons of income, because out of Facebook and Google and Bing, Facebook actually serves the most traffic. It can serve more impressions than Google, more impressions than Bing effectively. Now, keep in mind, Display Network and Google can serve actually more impressions than Facebook because of all the reach it has, but Facebook is much, much more targeted, which is why you get better results. Being the publisher who's running ads, much, much better results on Facebook versus the Display Network. Okay, so that's just some things to keep in mind. I hope you found this beneficial. If there's anything you want to learn about any of these ad networks, these are the 3 powerhouses of the internet. This is where all your user base is going to be at one point or another, right? Either you're going to have users on Facebook, Google, or